Right. All right, well, I guess it's time to see what we can do with the Simpsons.
Let's do some hit and run.
This is there's actually a really good Did You Know Gaming video on this. That was there was a game, the company that made Simpsons Road Rage, which was the first one, which was them trying to do Crazy Taxi.
Simpsons Crazy Taxi.
Yeah. The team was sitting down and they were like trying to conceive of a prospect for a sequel, and they were sitting in the boardroom and everybody's chatting and they're like, well, what can we do? We gotta change it, we gotta make the maps bigger or something. I don't know. And then one guy, almost like as a flippant suggestion, is like, what if you could get out of the car? And then there was like a silence that you could suck out of the room. Like it was, because every other person in the room all of a sudden had a look on their face of, why the fuck wasn't I the one who said that? And that's when we got here.
You know, I'm not sure how this could potentially go over. I was never really a fan of the Crazy Taxi games.
You know what? I didn't really like Crazy Taxi, but I did play Road Rage quite a bit. Like, not a ton.
I remember that.
Like, I unlocked the characters, but that was pretty much it.
I just, I remember when, in the heyday of Crazy Taxi, people...
Ah, shit, this is my existing file. We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, you're cool, Lisa.
Mr. Chop Chop's coming in.
You're, granted, I was never really that big on driving games, but a driving game that also has a time limit to accomplish objectives, that just didn't scratch any itches for me.
And the thing with Crazy Taxi is that it actually started out as an arcade cabinet game, which explains the entire thing. It's the original Crazy Taxi that was available on the PlayStation was a port.
Just like how the reason that Street Fighter 2 is so ridiculously hard at times.
Yeah, because they were like, fuck your quarters.
Yeah, give us your quarters.
Here we go.
Yep.
Cinematic intro. Yep. Characters who were never meant to be looked at in the third dimension.
Yeah, check out that budget.
I mean, for 2003, it doesn't look bad.
It looks better than that Treehouse of Horror where Homer ends up 3D.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like those were probably they probably reused some of those assets and just fixed them. Because
does not look as good as the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure games.
Is that 2003 as well?
No, that's not even close to 2003. I was just watching the Eyes Over Heaven. Yeah. So
wow.
that was the first thing I went to.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Which also brings me to something I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
What would your stand be?
Ah, fuck, don't even. I've tried to think of something good for this for the longest time. I don't know. I feel like I'd have to. Oh well, my stand would be called Lightning Tent.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite song.
Got it.
Lightning Tent by Wildlife.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna disable tutorial prompts. And I'm gonna go get some points. I don't know what Lightning Tent would do though. I don't know. I just know that because the poll has to be sort of musical in nature.
Yeah, right.
That would be mine for sure.
Because they've already done the tarot cards and the Egyptian gods.
Yeah, well, they ran those pretty fucking quick. I think one of the strongest things about this game was the fact that they were like, we're taking this intellectual property that at this point, 2003, had been around for, 14 years or something like that.
Oh, God.
Not quite, but... and they were just like, let's just jam it full of every reference we can. Let's just take every single TV show reference and just make it available.
Homemade football.
This is not a 3D platformer, but we're going to make you jump. Did you know that, and this is another thing I learned from that Did You Know Gaming video, but when the team that made this game first showed it to Matt Groening, he spent 15 minutes just kicking Marge. He's like, this game is great!
Oh my God.
What the hell?
It's like, oh my, slight detour, but there was originally going to be an Arkham Asylum style Darth Maul game. Yeah, so this was a thing. It made it as far as there was early concept art, and the idea was you were going to play as Darth Maul in one era with his cyborg legs after he was cut in half.
That thing that was only ever in the extended universe.
Yes, and Darth Talon in a completely different, unrelated timeline. And this is also from a Did You Know Gaming video, by the way.
Okay, alright.
So this game studio is showing all of their early production stuff and concept art to George Lucas in a meeting to talk about
the epitome of class in production.
Oh boy. But like apparently, as they were like in the middle of this presentation, George Lucas gets up, walks over to where they have the like Darth Maul and Darth Talon like action figures that they're using as props, and he picks them up and he starts like putting them together like Barbie dolls.
Like they're kissing or something?
Yeah, and says, "Look, they're friends. Make them friends." And they were trying to explain to him how these characters existed like hundreds of years apart.
Oh no! What the are you kidding me that that's the thing that actually happened?
Like, I am citing my sources as that Did You Know gaming
okay.
video.
That, like, I'm not surprised to hear that just because of what I've been given to understand about George Lucas at this point in his life and our lives.
Yes.
But God, that's just like the worst timeline. Alright, I think I've got enough money to buy no clothes.
That's what you were going for here?
That'll make sense in a second, I promise. Homie!
You're way too good at that.
Tony reacts to Scott being bad at games.
Tony reacts to Scott being good at voices.
Homie!
Yeah, you gotta do missions.
Yeah.
Right, because this is Simpsons Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it is. Also, I think somebody just hit my car right as I got out of it.
Perfect.
Fucking rude.
That sounds like Springfield.
It sounds like...
Also, there are robot wasps
Yeah.
everywhere.
The plot of the game...
Aliens, right?
Well, that's where it goes eventually. I was gonna get there. You're gonna do a spoiler right now. Spoilers! Homie! Damn it, Homer. Basically, the plot of the game is there's these wasp cams everywhere, and it's got something to do with Buzz Cola too. I'm not quite clear on how the Buzz Cola comes into.
Well, because bees go buzz.
That's probably it. But at first, everybody thinks it's Mr. Burns who's responsible for the cameras all over town. And Homer confronts him at one point in the campaign, and then he's like, Smithers! And then...
Christ, you and your voices.
Thank you. And then it turns out that it's Titus and Kang eventually. And there's like a Halloween-themed episode where they reveal like the big fantastical nature of things.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Are there zombies in that level?
I think there might be.
Am I completely misremembering that?
No, I think there's something spooky about that level. So, and I think it's like you play as Bart and Homer each 2 times, and Lisa and Marge each once. But
yeah. Which, I just feel like we're missing out on the Maggie level.
Yeah, which one?
The Maggie level.
Yeah. Oh, the joke is that he's looking at Nudie Magazine. That's...
Singular.
That's crusty. Did you see? There was double entendre there. Alright, here we go.
There's your naked Homer.
No, that's actually, I decided I'm going for Moo Moo Homer.
You know what? I remember that one more than naked Homer.
If, what was it? Your fingers are too large to dial. If you need a special dialing wand, please mash the keypad with the center of your hand. It's a really good episode.
You know, there was, it was like this throwaway issue of a Spider-Man comic.
Okay. With Larry the Looter?
No.
Okay.
Where, I think Spider-Man and the Human Torch ended up getting into, like, a hot rod race because they were, like, feuding. And the feud started because Ben Grimm, the Thing, took the Human Torch's phone and was texting Spider-Man. And he got this all set up because he wanted to just be a dick to Johnny. And you know how he was texting?
With a dialing wand that he used after he smashed the palm of his hand into the keypad?
Apparently Reed Richards developed these special, like, thumb attachments for his big rock thumbs.
Like thumb tips?
Like thumb tips. So they went on, the nub went on his thumb. And then it went out into this point, and he used the point to text.
How did he not just crush the phone with his giant rock hand regardless of his thumbs?
I mean, how does he not crush most things?
Well, he does! That's his thing! He's the Thing!
I don't know why, but that image just, like, stuck with me way more than anything else in that. It was probably a mediocre comic.
I don't think we're ever going to need to be able to make sense of that.
Nope.
Alright. I just watched an episode of The Simpsons last night, and it was like, the episode was structured kind of like Run Lola Run meets Sin City almost. It was a three-parter episode where you saw Homer's day, Lisa's day, and Jesus. And
there's just beer in his trunk.
Yep.
God, that family is such a mess.
He's doing what he can. That is to say, drink.
So, Family Guy is a pretty terrible show.
That's all, yeah. It's a bad show.
If there's one thing that I appreciate, other than the fact that I can turn it on and not feel like I'm missing anything if I just have it as like noise in the background,
Fair enough.
is that in the later seasons they specifically steer into the fact that that marriage is terrible and that house is not
An unhappy household.
That is a bad household.
I don't know, because like, I appreciate the fact that they're not posturing anymore, but like, I don't know that I need to bear witness to the folly of man in such a
any more than we do regularly.
Well, you know, we're here.
Yeah.
If, God, Lisa's hair does not translate well into the third dimension. Homer still kind of makes sense.
I mean, it does and it doesn't, because it basically just gives her a spiky afro.
Kind of, yeah. I wonder what it was supposed to look like.
A medieval flail.
Ah, this is my daughter, the Mace. Alright, I think I gotta fix my car.
It looks fine to me.
Looks like nothing a little spit shine can't help.
Blow it up.
No, not intentionally. I'm sure I will in the next 15 minutes or so, but... Oh, that... there we go. Yeah, see? I fixed it.
You're hiding the shame of the beer cans in your trunk.
I'm hiding the shame of the fact that I crashed like 14 times and almost killed a principal of a local elementary school.
Not hard enough. He's still alive.
I did my best.
Also, that's the mob guy.
That's Fat Tony's compatriot.
Yeah. He's the one who asked, what was it, Tight-Lipped Louie? Who shot him?
Who shot you, Tight-Lipped Louie?
I ain't saying nothing.
My mother. Louie!
Louie, where you been shot?
I'll never tell.
But what will we tell the doctor? Tell him to settle in it.
There we go. I was trying to remember what not quite terse thing he said to them. He didn't say suck my dick. He didn't, I'm sure.
Because this is The Simpsons, not Family Guy.
Exactly. Ready for this? Oh, such a victory. Oh shit, that was just one checkpoint. Never mind.
Smooth.
Always smooth. Never chunky.
I really appreciate...
did my best.
I really appreciate how Mr. Burns' mansion /
backs into the radioactive power plant.
Well, I was going to say how it's laid out like Bowser's castle in...
Fuck, alright, cool.
Hey, you made it. Nice Dukes of Hazzard jump.
Well, you're wondering how the boys got into a mess like that.
It's because they had the Confederate flag on their car.
Because they're a bunch of racists and they drove through the inner city.
It's because they carry explosives in their trunk.
And they're driving through the inner city. No, I was thinking if I make it, it'll be great. If I don't make it, well, there's always round 2. Through the trailer park.
As a disclaimer, kids, don't approach most situations in your life like that.
Just do what Scott does.
I mean, do if it doesn't involve jumping over a pile of burning tires.
Or driving a car in general. Because I'm going through a cemetery right now.
That's probably a bad idea.
We don't tend to recommend it. But if you do it, send us the footage later.
Oh.
Because we want to see.
Oh.
The one thing that really still annoys me about this game is the way that the voice clips are constantly repeated.
Yeah, I remember that. It was really bad in Lisa's level.
It was really bad in Park's level, too.
I believe that.
He's only got like 3 lines that he says, like, consistently.
Right.
It's like, eat dust eaters, or something like that.
I remember that one.
Yeah. And something about things breaking. I don't know.
It's almost like that one episode of the show where he gets famous for having that one catchphrase.
Oh, is that... Oh,
he gets famous for saying, I didn't do it.
Right. Like that episode of Dexter's Laboratory where he changes the world by saying, omelette du fromage.
Yes, but everyone loves him because he's speaking French, and that makes him so
It's
exotic.
a sexy language.
But then he can't get into his lab because the password is Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because he's a nerd.
You know when French is not a sexy language? Do you want to know? When spoken by Jean Reno, Leon the Professional.
That was very specific.
Exactly.
Okay.
He sounds like 13 wood chippers eating 14 chainsaws.
You know,
but quiet.
You know, growing up when we took like French, like in elementary school.
Yeah.
I could not.
Spoiler: we're Canadian.
Is that really a spoiler at this point?
Go on.
Can't they hear the you when I say color?
Don't pick that fight. Anyways, when we were taking French.
Right. Yes. I could not for the life of me tell the difference between Francophone and Parisian French.
Like proper French and fake bad French.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Now try to guess which one he's calling which.
We're gonna cut most of that, I think.
Oh, no, we can't.
That was a stupid inhaler.
There's something seriously wrong with this town that the inhaler would end up on top of a beer truck.
Well, it's Homer is the one who placed all these things around town, so...
I mean, he would.
Exactly. You can only expect so much from the man.
You can't even dial a phone properly.
Do you remember the episode where Homer gets the promotion and he works for Hank Scorpio?
Yeah!
Fuck, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, no, he gets the new job because the one where he gets the promotion is the one where he... Like, that's the one where he became a hero for accidentally stopping a nuclear meltdown.
Right. No, sorry. I meant like when he gets transferred and it's Hank Scorpio. And Hank Scorpio is voiced by somebody.
I remember... I'm just...
It was Albert Brooks.
What's
he was voiced by Marilyn the Clownfish / the bad guy from Drive.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was very specific.
Yeah. And it's like he looks like Kurt Russell. But...
Yeah, Homer ends up being like a bit employee for a Bond villain. It's like,
but no, not even a bit. Like he ends up like very high up in the company, but like as just a desk worker.
Yeah.
It's a. Homie.
He appeared in 2 episodes. Why was he? Oh no, he has like a bunch of appearances. You only move twice. Take My Life, Please. Lona Lisa. 500 Keys. The Simpsons guy.
Jesus Christ. I had no idea.
Also appears in Lego Dimensions.
As Hank Scorpio?
He's mentioned in, Lego Dimensions.
Alright.
And he has 3 comic book appearances.
Do you remember the episode where it cuts to Homer and he's sitting and he's got like Sharpie on his hand and it says Carl equals black?
Oh. Yeah, Albert Brooks.
Not Lenny! Alright, this is the bit where I think I get the Plow King in this one, and I get Mr. Plow when I play as Bart.
God, that jingle.
Mr. Plow.
No!
That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
Remember, like, the first, like, collection of Simpsons episodes we had?
Yeah, like that DVD with, it was just Christmas ones, and it was like the first 7 Christmas episodes or something like that.
I remember there was that one night where we watched, like, 3 of them in a row, and by the end of it, we were just so fucking done with The Simpsons.
Yep.
Like, our saturation level for media was not very high.
It was low. We were infants.
Yeah.
When you're a small baby, you can only watch TV for like 4 minutes, and then you have to shit, probably.
And that's no longer the case.
It's hours before I have to shit now. God. Let's not talk about that here. Alright.
Buy the Plow King.
Yeah. And I think when you're not buying like plot-specific vehicles in this game, you buy all of the other vehicles per level from Gil. Ah, jeez, old Gil!
The wolves are barking at old Gil's door.
I just needed this one sale.
Oh boy.
I think, yeah, this is the mission where I have to destroy Mr. Burns' limo. Jesus, this thing handles like shit.
This is that's the most Grand Theft Auto possible mission to have this early.
Destroy another car?
Yeah. No, destroy specific. No, you know what? I lied. It's not the most Grand Theft Auto mission. It's the most Tony Hawk's American Wasteland mission.
There it is. There it is.
Like that. Oh.
God, we're definitely doing a Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah.
Like, that was the one skateboarding game that we both beat.
Yeah. Ben Hoofleck and the guy's like,
fuck
that guy!
I hated him in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Because they called out that movie.
Which you feel like probably they're going to call it Daredevil, but...
Pearl Harbor was way worse.
Pearl Harbor had the most expensive explosion ever recorded on film.
Pearl Harbor...
was directed by Michael Bay. Are you seeing a causation correlation? Braveheart.
Oh, God. Don't get me started.
I think I just did.
He fucking knocks up a French princess.
Yeah, remember that time that the French were involved?
And there was just so much that didn't happen.
Yeah, they what they did, and I'm speaking completely historically, founded based on my viewing of Pearl Harbor, was they actually thumbed out the eyeballs of Helen Keller. It was a rude thing to do, in my personal opinion.
Of all the things that you might have said, that was
Didn't see it coming? No?
I really didn't.
We're going to be doing some cuts in this episode.
Oh, did you just turn into Dio Brando for like a second?
Oh boy. Find cardboard tubes and collect the tobacco harvest for Cletus.
Oh yeah, tobacco.
Yeah, that's another, Cletus had nothing to do with the episode about the tobacco.
No, that's when they moved out into, I can't remember how they got the farm, but they moved to a farm.
They moved to a farm, and then Homer planted the only things he could find, which were
tomato seeds
and tobacco seeds. And then he used radiation to nurture the soil.
Yep.
And plutonium he planted to try and make the seeds grow, and then he created the superfood. As delicious as a cigarette butt, and as addictive as it. Is World War III the one that started there one time that guy took all of Michael Phelps' medals away from him because he smoked that dank kush? And then Michael Phelps shot everybody with a gun?
Okay, I'm gonna hit the abort button on this whole train of thought.
Michael Phelps taking rips of that dank kush?
Nope.
Waves of cotton. Ah, jeez. My sister wife and I 19 kids. His wife is his sister. That's not me just making a prank.
You remember in the Simpsons movie, they made dumping in the lake idiot-proof?
And they put the cement wall, and he was like, I simply can't.
Brilliant!
Christ. I forgot about a lot of that movie, honestly. And it was a funny movie.
It was a good movie.
The only thing that I never quite understood was why they bothered showing Bart's penis.
Did that happen?
Yeah, when he's skateboarding and he doesn't have his clothes, and there's very carefully placed things that blocking for the entire thing. Yeah,
and then
right at the last second, he just skateboards past a fence, and his little wing's hanging out.
Well, comedic build.
But I mean, it just feels like a very weird thing to build to, because The Simpsons has never been that aggressively explicit for anything. There's never been hard violence. There's the violence has always been comical. The sexual content's always been for jokes, and it's just for some reason they decided to show a wiener.
Seth MacFarlane wrote that gag.
Probably. And that was the beginning of a beautiful relationship between those companies.
That was probably I'm probably misremembering this, but wasn't the show supposed to end with the movie? Or
I don't think I remember hearing anything about that actually.
I'm probably completely off it. I know the SpongeBob movie was supposed to be the end of that series.
And that series did end at that point. They restarted a second series a little bit after the movie.
Steven Hillenburg's affiliation with the franchise ended at that point. And
it took a little time off, and that's why on Netflix right now, there's SpongeBob, but it's SpongeBob circa 2012 onward.
Yeah.
Not SpongeBob circa 2006 onward.
Which is a shame, because
the old stuff is so fucking good.
It's just better, frankly. technically. I'm not even trying to say that as like, oh, it was better when I grew up with it. It's like, no, it's the jokes were just better.
The comedic timing was really, and like the tone of the sense of humor was very different.
It's like if you compare the humor in the first SpongeBob movie with the one that came out like 2 years ago.
You know what though? That SpongeBob movie was pretty fucking funny.
You know what?
Like, it was not bad.
It was not bad. It was a... I feel like that there are plenty of people who would have watched that while very high, and they would have enjoyed it a lot more than I did.
You know what? I watched it while I was of sound mind. It was funny. It's not bad.
No, it's absolutely not bad. I still...
Fuck.
Part of this was probably just because I liked the first one more.
And like the bit with Hasselhoff and all that. I like that Antonio Banderas is the bad guy in this film.
That was good, and I like how the framing device ended up actually being part of the story.
Yeah. It was like a very clever, for fuck's sake, it was a very cleverly structured narrative. And there were a lot of it almost had like a Tim and Eric sense of humor at times.
That is probably why I didn't enjoy it as much, actually, because I am not a Tim and Eric fan.
That's a tough differentiator there.
It's a tough sell for me. Like, I remember there was an episode of Tim and Eric where they had this one that I remember seeing when it was on late night. They had Dave Navarro as a guest.
Dave Navarro, he's a skateboarder, right?
He's
a rock and roller.
Yeah, he played guitar for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, that was John Frusciante. Dave Navarro was...
I know it's John Frusciante. I know John Frusciante as the Red Hot Chili Pepper guitarist.
Yeah.
But in the show they said he played for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Because I thought Dave Navarro was... what band was it that... Motley... No? Yeah, Motley Crue, I think.
How many different ways can we pronounce his name?
5 at least.
Okay. Well, point is...
I want you to Google Dave Navarro.
I will. I'm looking that up right now. Point is... because they introduced him as the Red Hot Chili Pepper guy, like I was like, were you just like a guy from before John Frusciante, or?
And John Frusciante has since left the band.
Yeah, he has ties with the Wu-Tang Clan now.
I mean, I feel like everybody who's worth their gumption has at least 1 or 2 ties to Wu-Tang.
Alt-rock founding member of Jane's Addiction and former member
Jane's Addiction, that was
of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That Jane's Addiction is the one that I know him from.
Yeah, he was in the Peppers from 93 to 98.
Weird.
So Frusciante came after that, and Frusciante. Oh my God, yeah, he's a DJ now.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that.
He swore off playing the guitar and is now performing under the name DJ Trickfinger.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did he have a spirit quest or something? Like, that seems like a huge change.
I mean, he's not a Power Rangers character in the 90s, so I would imagine not. They did that.
Spirit quest?
Really? Yeah, Tommy Oliver had a spirit quest.
Yes. Alright, here we go.
When he met his Native American brother.
Come on, Power Rangers. Fuck you, Bart. Fuck you, Bart. Damn it.
Oh, well, this is going great.
Are you kidding? Just turn!
This episode is going to be called Tony and Scott Can't Remember Things.
Have a hard time remembering topics that they brought up for seemingly unrelated reasons. Shit.
Yeah, Dave Navarro's eyeliner is on point, by the way.
I believe it. I think he knows what he's doing. He's been doing that sort of guy rock and roller look for a fucking long time. Jane's Addiction?
Yeah.
They were like late 90s onward.
Yeah, because they were in that era when like rock and pop music started sounding...
The Venn diagram started to close a little bit.
Yeah, it started getting like just really gut rock.
Yeah. Jane's Addiction, think as a result of Nirvana. Think that time period.
Yeah. Evidently, I don't know where I'm looking.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Well, you know what? Oh, wait, hang on. Fucking the Crow in that series is the judge.
Mark Dacascos.
There
He's
you
the
go.
judge's nephew on
Judge's
Top Chef.
nephew in Top Chef.
No, Iron Chef.
Yep.
Iron Chef. Yeah.
Also, in that one zombie movie by the Asylum Films.
And...
Renchard.
Yeah, Renchard, yeah. Fuck! I Am Omega. That was the one, because it was I Am Legend and Omega Man crammed together.
And yet somehow I liked it more than I liked I Am Legend.
I Am Omega was fucking good. It was, like, not good, but it was fun.
Yep.
And he was also...
For anyone who has not seen it, he uses a bow staff to beat up, like, weird, really weird-looking zombies.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they're trying to look like the vampire zombies from I Am Legend. But, like, with no budget.
Yeah, like, they have, like, exposed skeletal structure, but they kind of...
And his name is fucking Renchard. That's just
Renchard.
Dumb.
You know what they look like? They look like shrunk-down versions of the Abomination from the Incredible Hulk movie.
Oh, yeah, they did kind of look like Tim Roth. You're right. But there was one other thing that he was in that you're gonna lose your shit. Because I did some research into movies that were inspired by and adapted from video games. But even with the bits with Sean Bean and Kim Coates, can you genuinely say that Silent Hill is not as good as Super Mario Bros?
I thought you were going to say Doom.
Fuck. Resident Evil 1 through 97. But
Resident Evil 1 through where they keep making these as long as they keep making money.
Number 5 was called The Final Chapter, and then we made number 6, which was called The Final Chapter. And so number 7's coming out.
The finalist chapter.
The final lane. But anyways, this is all a digression, because when I was looking up these movies, I found that the second video game adaptation ever made was a movie co-starring Mark Dacascos.
Okay. Ooh, wow, we are way off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming back to it. Mark Dacascos did that. And do you want to know what movie that was?
What movie was that?
He played Bimmy of Bimmy and Jimmy in Double Dragon.
I remember that!
Double Dragon.
And the bad guy looked like Vanilla Ice plus 10 years.
Yep. He looked like Vanilla Ice, but somehow worse. We didn't know it could get worse.
There was like, no, I remember that because it was like The Warriors without any edge to it whatsoever.
Yeah, it was because it was trying to be fun and approachable, because the people who understood the references were
children.
Infants.
Oh yeah, he was one of the two.
He was Bimmy.
Yeah, he was Genji.
Yep.
Genji to Jimmy's Hanzo.
In Double Dragon 2, there's a single translation error, and it's just in the first screen, essentially the opening of the film. And it says, "The brothers, Jimmy and Bimmy." And then everywhere else in the game, they're Jimmy and Billy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Right?
You know what? Speaking of video game adaptations, I will never be as upset by a video game adaptation as I was by the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time film adaptation.
That was a bad movie.
That was not a good movie.
Not only was it a bad movie, but they were like, "Hey, we're making a movie that's set in the Middle East.
Let's cast Jake Gyllenhaal."
A bunch of white guys.
No, the first game I bashed my head against was Spider-Man 64.
Yeah, sorry. That I wasn't even counting that, because that was before we actually knew what we were doing with video games.
That was
the. Do you remember the one level, like the one that I always have my acid flashbacks to with that game? Is the one where Spider-Man and Venom. It's like a cross section.
Yeah. And
Spider-Man's on the top and Venom's on the bottom.
Yeah.
And you have to make it through, and Venom's smashing doors.
Yeah.
And it's a race.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that one.
And then the final boss was like that, except you have to run away from Monster Ock, which in the game is what happens when Doc Ock gets possessed by the Carnage symbiote.
That's awesome. I gotta interrupt. I'm so sorry. This is fucking garbage. I'm gonna kill Smithers. I'm gonna murder him. Anyways, continue. I do remember that game, though.
Yeah.
And sorry, going back, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time was the game that, like, this was really before I had hit my head against a lot of games.
Yeah. And
I remember you playing this game 2 bits and, like, getting extended endings.
Yeah.
And like, fuck. 65.4%? Are you fucking kidding me? This is bullshit.
Oh my god, you found like half the gags.
I gave up running after those because I was trying to make the video. Fuck.
It was a mistake.
Alright, these loading screens I remember, like the one on the first level was study shows that 90% of video games open with easy tutorial levels.
Yeah.
And I was like, ha ha ha, that's a funny joke. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, they're telling me that my progress in this level is meaningless. Downtown Springfield, Bart Simpson, Millhouse Van Houten. Oh, God. A murder most foul.
You just killed a child, didn't
Probably.
you?
No, there was no kid in it. Well, I mean,
Let's
the police report will say.
Probably there.
The police report will say there was no child.
Martin Prince was in the trunk of that car.
I think Martin's one of the characters I have beef with in this mission.
Oh. I mean, that would make sense.
Maybe I saved myself some time.
I feel like everybody has that, especially with The Simpsons, because it's been on for fucking ever.
How many years is it now? 95? 98. 98 years, I think.
Yeah, I know they recently uncovered hieroglyphics showing the announcement for season 2 of The Simpsons.
There was actually a hieroglyph in the shape of Bart Simpson's face, and then again one in the shape of Santa's Little Helper.
Yep.
That appeared on the side of the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, wow. Yes. And when they developed color TVs, that was when people finally realized that The Simpsons are actually yellow.
They're yellow,
Yeah.
Exactly. People thought that they were all actually blue
Yeah,
for a while.
Same thing with Kirby. People didn't
Kirby,
realize.
as old as time.
Yep.
Kirby. And then we had a lot of people making a lot of beef. I thought he was a boy! Let's see. Pink versus again.
Yeah.
It's a traditional gender role.
Color coding children.
What is the B-Man doing here getting sloshed?
I feel like if there's anyone in this town who has a right to be there, it's the Bumblebee Man.
What about Barney?
The only adversity Barney deals with is that he drinks too much.
You think you had a bad night's sleep?
Anytime he gets his life cleaned up, he's like...
Crashes a helicopter.
Well, like, he flies helicopters. He was an astronaut for a while.
Yeah. Oh, Snake.
Oh, that was a character.
Do you remember the episode, the Treehouse of Horror episode, where Snake gets killed and they, he gets, like, executed for being a bad guy or whatever?
Yeah.
And then they lift his hair off of his corpse and they implant it on Homer because he's been on a wait list for, like, a hair implant. And then at night he becomes a criminal.
Oh my god.
Do you remember that one?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Do you remember the Tales of Springfield episode where it just cuts to different parts of the city with different things going on?
And it was another Pulp Fiction themed thing. It was the episode.
Yeah,
there was Herman.
Snake and Chief Wiggum
Get into Herman's military supply store, and
he's got them tied up in the back room, and then Milhouse and his dad come in to use the toilet, and his dad's just standing there really awkwardly as these two guys are obviously in this captive situation.
Yeah. But then he fucking... Yeah.
Yep.
God, what was his name? Lance something. Something... What was his stupid name? Jesus Christ.
What?
Chief Wiggum is out for fucking blood.
I mean, that checks out, yes.
Milhouse Dad. Just type that in.
Milhouse, you know what? What's his middle name is Mussolini.
That's awesome!
Kirk Van Houten.
Kirk! Damn it! Lance is an equally douchey name.
Milhouse Mussolini Van Houten.
That's awesome. Race the nerd.
So Kirk or Picard?
For me?
Yeah.
That's tricky because I genuinely think that Picard is a better character, more interesting, a lot going on.
I think Picard is a better captain.
Kirk is such a fucking swashbuckling fucking asshole, though.
Yeah.
I love him. He's such a piece of shit.
I love how there's that line in Deep Space Nine where it's just a bunch of like high up Federation people throwing shade on Kirk for being such a fuck up.
They're like, do you remember that one captain who... And then they're like, he fucked the entire planet that one time. Jesus fucking hell.
Half of our recruits are his illegitimate children.
Everybody's related to Kirk. He's like Jesus now.